Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25.
What? Come on, boy. Hey, Haywood. Don't be scared of it. Mike 52, Mike 52.
Here's Foles. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. A good pickup there, a 22. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
What we got? What we got? Go. Hey, Echo. Out.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Go. 52's the mic, boy. Hey, Charlie. All day, baby, all day. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. We own it.
Now Foles steps away to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Second down and goal. Foles. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. DeAndre Hopkins there to make the grab. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25.
Right now. Ready? Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Watch the screen.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
First down, Atlanta.
Down. 180. You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me in your 694. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
From the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Bynes. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing now is Carr. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Carr, it's caught. Smith. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
57. 180. Hey, we're good. 180.
Shotgun now for Carr. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to the running game with Jacobs. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons' leading tackler in 2018. Well, these two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. The Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was a Falcons victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation, and then the Falcons would get the victory in OT 30-27, and they were off to the Super Bowl. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. On play action, now Carr. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the 1st.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he can't find room to run. Bell's going to go down, and that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? On 2nd and 12, Carr, and he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
93. 57 Mike. Mike 57. Double. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
A 67-yard gain on the play. 1st down, Falcons.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
7, Falcons 2.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? It's pretty nice.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And it's 3rd down.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Push him back. 29. 59. 57's the mic. Rock 57. I got one. Hey, Delta.
From the gun, Carr, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
At the 27-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Switch up. Check 13.
They'll give this to Bell running right. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Foles. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Torrey Smith, 61 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
We're good.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mike 52. It's been a long day for you.
From the 38, Foles. He finds Hopkins complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. They gonna need some therapy.
They'll look to throw here. Going deep for Hopkins. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. DeAndre Hopkins. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Crosby with the extra point, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked for something else, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Carr, complete. Smith has it. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. On the return, here's Agnew. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they sequence things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. On 2nd down, it's Bell. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go! Mike part two. Man, I got you. Yeah, go, let's go. Check that. We're going Mike 50. Go. Bandit. No, Mike 52. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Purple 64. Let's get off the field.
Back to throw. That's complete. It's Bell. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hey, Silver. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Tackles. Mike 52.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Carr going to throw. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The final shot here before half for Carr. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score. For the Vikings.
That's the one you make it speed, baby.
Now Crosby for the point after. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Yeah, let's get second.
1st and 10. Here's Carr. He completes this to Sutton. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Carr. It's complete to Diggs. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And this is incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57's the mic. Rock 57. Let's go, B. Big C. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. Let's go. You're mine. Mike's 57.
From the gun, Carr. And that will be incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, Zoo. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Go. They scared. Silent. He's checking. Crash. You.
There's Foles. He's got Smith here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Motion. Back to go.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 44-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Pick me up. Here we go. Little Mike 52. Mike 52. Strip the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Come on, D. Where's 52? Watch 52.
Now Foles. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw here. Yeah, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Now they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Here's Carr to throw, and they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them snips this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it cost them 2 points.
Come on now, let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again they run. Again it's Gore. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 29-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
A run right side. It's Gore. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Jam. I got you.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Dan Bailey for the Vikings field goal. A 40-yard attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jacobs now. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 49 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they have the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Undercrush.
Second down and inches. And that'll be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
What we got? Bravo!
From the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be third and forever.
6-18. 57, 57's Mike. Stop here, D. 57's Mike. Mike 57. I'm coming. 57.
Shotgun now for Carr. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Carr now to throw, and this one complete to Smith. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 7 yards away, and the Falcons get a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 26-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
52. Hey, watch the slant. What we got? What we got?
On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Quinnen Williams brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Foles. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, it really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down is Carr. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Falcons. Stephon Diggs, 31 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. They do tack on the extra point as well, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now Gore. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe. Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it? Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Cover 5-3. Cover 5-3. No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Sammy Watkins, 32 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that. Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now. Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown. And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it. Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Being chased out left. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth. That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there. No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's able to find Diggs. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. Carr now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done. Still have hope. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up. Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it. And on the other side, get that hands team ready. No doubt about it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. And
I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Vikings, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.